Quality Control Officer, and Subhan Industry Wonder Bread. I am the training manager and co-trainer in Global Food Safety Standards. I have also completed HACCP Level 1 to 4 training and FSSC 22,000 lead auditor training. So that's it for my introduction. Welcome to the free awareness session, which is about food additives. Please let me know in the chat box whether you are comfortable having today's session in Urdu or English. If there any participant or is there any one among the participant who does not understand Urdu, please let me know in the chat box. Is there anyone among the participants here who does not understand Urdu? All right. I will deliver today's session in both languages. I have no issue with that. Before we begin the session, I would like to share an important announcement regarding the attendance. The attendance link will be shared at the end of the session, and you will have 4 to 5 minutes to mark your attendance. All right. Certificates will only be issued to participants who mark their attendance using the given link. I hope everybody or everyone understand this. All right. Let's move on our topic, which is food additives. How many of you know the what is food additives? Quickly let me know in the chat box. How many of you know what is food additives? Tell me in the chat box. All right, Farah Tariq, very good. Numan, very good. Shireen, Zarur. All right. Very good, all of you. All right. You all answered well. Now let me explain what food additive is. Sir Junaid, kindly
Recording in
start the recording.
progress.
Okay, thank you so much. So food additives basically होता क्या है? Food additives are the substance added to the food. ठीक है, फूड एडिटिव्स हमारे पास इस तरह के सब्सटेंस होते हैं जिनको हम अपने फूड के अंदर डाल रहे होते हैं कुछ रीजंस की वजह से. कौन कौन से रीजंस होते हैं? ताकि हम क्या कर सकें? टू प्रिजर्व इट, like means to make it last longer, improve its flavor and appearance, means make a taste better and also its appearance make look nicer, improve its texture and shelf life, improves its nutritional value and maintain its freshness. ऑलराइट, हम अपने फूड के अंदर क्या करते हैं? कुछ ऐसे सब्सटेंस को ऐड करते हैं ताकि उसकी एडिंग के बाद, उसको ऐड करने के बाद क्या कर सकें? अपने फूड की जो शेल्फ लाइफ है उसको इंक्रीज कर सकें, उसका फ्लेवर इंप्रूव कर सकें, उसकी अपीयरेंस को अच्छा कर सकें, ठीक है, उसको का टेक्सचर अच्छा कर सकें और उसकी न्यूट्रिशनल वैल्यू को इम्प्रूव कर सकें. ठीक है, किस तरह ऐसा होता है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आप देखें तो हमारे पास कुछ फ्रूट जूसेस होते हैं, कुछ जैम्स वगैरह होती हैं जिसके अंदर हम जो है वो कुछ प्रिजर्वेटिव्स वगैरह डाल रहे होते हैं, लाइक सोडियम बेंजोएट वगैरह. तो उससे क्या होता है कि वो उसकी प्रिजर्वेशन अच्छी होती है और वो हम किस चीज से उसको प्रिवेंट कर सकते हैं? लाइक मोल्ड से, ईस्ट से और बैक्टीरिया वगैरह से. ठीक है ना? तो ये हमारे पास क्या होता है? फूड एडिटिव्स होता है. यहाँ तक क्लियर है आप सबको? अब हम एक एक करके फूड एडिटिव्स के बारे में पढ़ते हैं कि बेसिकली ये होते क्या है और हम इसको किस तरह फूड के अंदर डालते हैं और बाकी चीजें कर रहे होते हैं. ठीक है, ऑल राइट. Here are the some commonly used food additives. ठीक है, जिसमें हमारे पास सबसे पहले होता है प्रिजर्वेटिव्स, देन कलरेंट्स, स्टेबलाइजर, फ्लेवरिंग एजेंट्स एंड ऑलराइट, ठीक है। एक एक करके हम सबसे पहले इन सबको डिस्कस करते हैं। सबसे पहले हमारे पास होता है प्रिजर्वेटिव्स। सो प्रिजर्वेटिव इज टू मेक द फूड लास्ट लॉन्गर एंड इट कैन प्रिवेंट द food. Okay, it can prevent the change of the qualities of food. It can also cure the bacteria and microorganism in the food to make it last and longer. All right. Second is colorant. So colorant is to change the color of the food. Then we have stabilizers, and thickeners that is used to change the texture of the food. All right. Next is flavoring. Flavoring is used to change the taste of the flavor. And दीज आर द कॉमनली यूज फूड एडिटिव्स। ठीक है, हमने प्रिजर्वेटिव्स की बात करी, हमने कलरेंट्स की बात करी, हमने स्टेबलाइजर्स की बात करी, हमने थिकनेस की बात करी, हमने जो फ्लेवरिंग्स की बात करी। अब हमारे पास जो ये नेक्स्ट है मिसलिनियस, इसे हम क्या कहते हैं? इसे हम कॉमनली फूड एडिटिव्स ये नहीं होता, बट दे आर कैटेगरी ऑफ फूड एडिटिव्स, बट दे आर specialized function in food processing, but they do not fall into the common categories like preservatives, colorant, and flavor enhancer. All right, they can perform diverse role to improve the quality, stability, and overall properties of the food. हमारे पास जो ये लास्ट वाला है ना, इसे हम अपने कॉमनली फूड एडिटिव्स में ऐड नहीं करते। ये हमारे पास एक तरह का फूड एडिटिव्स होता तो है, बट हम क्या करते हैं कि हम इसको अपने फूड के अंदर डाल रहे होते हैं। एक तरह की समझे कि स्पेशल हमारे पास होता है ये एडिटिव्स। ठीक है, लाइक आपने देखा होगा आपके पास कुछ ऐसे पाउडर्स होते हैं। ठीक है, हम उनके अंदर एंटी केकिंग एजेंट्स वगैरह डाल रहे होते हैं। ठीक है, ताकि हमारे पास जो भी पाउडर है उसमें क्लम्पिंग वगैरह ना हो जाए। ठीक है, आप अपने घर में कस्टर्ड पाउडर वगैरह लेकर आते हैं या कोई भी मिक्स लेकर आते हैं, तो उसमें जो वो हम अपने पास क्या कर रहे होते हैं, सिलिकॉन डाइऑक्साइड डाल रहे होते हैं पाउडर्स के अंदर। वो क्या होता है? एक तरह का एंटी केकिंग एजेंट होता है। ठीक है ना, जो कि हमारे पास मिसलेनियस में आता है। हमारे पास फोमिंग एजेंट भी होता है, जो कि हम ज्यादातर विपिंग, जो हमारे पास टॉपिंग्स वगैरह होती हैं, जो हम डेजर्ट में और केक्स वगैरह में डाल रहे होते हैं, उसमें भी जो है वो हम इसको यूज करते हैं। और सबसे मेन चीज जो आप सबने पढ़ा होगा, आप सबने सुना होगा, इमल्सिफायर। ठीक है, जो कि हम क्या करते हैं, अपने इंग्रेडिएंट्स जो हमारे पास प्रॉपरली मिक्स नहीं हो पाते हैं, तो उसके अंदर जो हम इमल्सिफायर जो है वो डाल रहे होते हैं। ठीक है ना, तो ये तीनों कैटेगरीज हमारे पास मिसलेनियस में आता है। अब हम क्या करते हैं, एक एक को थोड़ा अच्छे से डिटेल में स्टडी करते हैं। ठीक है, so these chart give better pictures of what food additives and that we usually used. All right, so there are four types of food additives: preservatives, colorants, stabilizers, thickeners, and flavorings. ठीक है, for preservatives we have antioxidants and antimicrobials. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट जो हमारे पास फूड एडिटिव्स है ना, ये हमारे पास जो है वो चार तरह के होते हैं। ठीक है, प्रिजर्वेटिव्स आ गया, कलरेंट्स आ गया, स्टेबलाइजर एंड थिकनर्स आ गए, और हमारे पास फ्लेवर्स आ गए। ठीक है, अब इसकी भी कुछ सब कैटेगरीज होती हैं। लाइक अगर हमारे पास प्रिजर्वेटिव्स की मैं बात करूं, तो प्रिजर्वेटिव्स में हमारे पास एंटीऑक्सीडेंट्स होते हैं एंड एंटी माइक्रोबियल्स होते हैं। ठीक है ना, एंटीऑक्सीडेंट इज टू प्रिवेंट द ऑक्सीडेशन ऑफ द फूड and antimicrobials is to prevent the growth of microorganisms in food. ठीक है, इसे भी हम डिस्कस करेंगे डिटेल में। हमारे पास होता है कलरेंट्स। कलरेंट्स दे आर टू टाइप्स, नेचुरल एंड सिंथेटिक। ठीक है, देन स्टेबलाइजर एंड थिकनर, एज आई टोल्ड यू दैट दिस चेंज द टेक्सचर ऑफ द फूड। ठीक है, then flavoring. Flavoring is divided into three types: sweeteners, that is add to the sweet taste to the food. Next, flavoring, that is add to some addition of taste of the food. And next we have flavor enhancer, which is to improve the taste of the food. All right. For sweeteners, there are two types: nutritive and non-nutritive. Nutritive is like sugars, and non-nutritive is like diet sugars. Okay, it gives you sweetness but without any gives energy. All right, so that is the type of food additives. Now we will discuss all of these in a bit more detail, so that everyone have clear understanding of these additives. All right. ओके, सबसे पहले हम बात करते हैं प्रिजर्वेटिव्स की। चलिए मुझे जल्दी से चैट बॉक्स में बताएं कि प्रिजर्वेटिव्स क्या होता है। व्हाट इज प्रिजर्वेटिव्स? हमने पढ़ लिया कि भाई प्रिजर्वेटिव जो है वो एक तरह का फूड एडिटिव्स होता है जो कि हम अपने फूड के अंदर डाल रहे होते हैं, ठीक है ना। बट बेसिकली ये होता क्या है? लेट मी नो इन द चैट बॉक्स। ऑल राइट, एमन सिद्दीकी वेरी गुड, लाइबा वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड। ऑल राइट, ठीक है, अब हम बात करते हैं प्रिजर्वेटिव्स की। ओके, सो प्रिजर्वेटिव्स क्या होता है हमारे पास? एनी सब्सटेंस दैट इज केपेबल ऑफ इनहिबिटिंग, रिटार्डिंग एंड अरेस्टिंग द प्रोसेस ऑफ फर्मेंटेशन, एसिडिफिकेशन, डिकम्पोजिशन एंड स्टेरिफिकेशन। हमारे पास ऐसे सब्सटेंस जो इस काबिल हो कि वो क्या कर सके, इनहिबिट रोक सके, रिटार्ड कमी कर सके, किसके चीजों में? फर्मेंटेशन के प्रोसेस में, एसिडिफिकेशन के प्रोसेस में, डिकम्पोजिशन के प्रोसेस में एंड स्टेरिफिकेशन के प्रोसेस में। एक एक करके जरा मैं इन सबको आपको डिस्कस करती हूँ कि ये चीजें होती क्या है, ठीक है। तो सबसे पहले हम बात करते हैं कि भाई इनहिबिटिंग किस तरह से होती है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आपके पास कोई भी लाइक माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं, ठीक है ना। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आप बात करते हैं सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक्स की। आप में से बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ पर, बहुत सारे ऐसे पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं जो कि उन्होंने सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक्स जो है वो कंज्यूम करते हैं, ठीक है ना। तो हम ज्यादातर सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक्स के अंदर सोडियम बेंजोएट डाल रहे होते हैं, ठीक है। वो एक तरह का प्रिजर्वेटिव होता है। वो क्या कर रहा होता है? इनहिबिट कर रहा होता है ग्रोथ को, प्रिवेंट कर रहा होता है ग्रोथ को। किसकी ग्रोथ को? ईस्ट की और बैक्टीरिया की ग्रोथ को, ठीक है, ताकि वो क्या कर सके, फर्मेंटेशन का प्रोसेस ज्यादा ना हो सके, ठीक है। या फिर अगर मैं बात करती हूँ, हमारे पास ब्रेड वगैरह जो होती है जिसके अंदर हम जो है वो, उसके अंदर एसिडिफिकेशन का प्रोसेस होता है, ठीक है। जो हमारे पास रोटी वगैरह होती है, डबल रोटी वगैरह, तो उसमें क्या होता है कि हम अपने पास कैल्शियम प्रोपिनेट डाल रहे होते हैं। वो क्या करता है कि हमारे पास जो एसिडिफिकेशन का जो प्रोसेस होता है उसको स्लो कर देता है, ताकि ब्रेड की क्वालिटी हमारे पास अच्छी हो सके। तीसरा जो मैंने आपको बताया कि डिकम्पोजिशन, ठीक है। उसके बाद हमारे पास क्या होता है? डिकम्पोजिशन, लाइक उसमें होता ये है कि हमारे पास ज्यादा चीज वगैरह होती है, तो उसके अंदर हम क्या कर रहे होते हैं? पोटेशियम सॉर्बेट, एक तरह का प्रिजर्वेटिव है जो हम डाल रहे होते हैं, ठीक है। तो वो क्या करता है? वो प्रिवेंट करता है डिकम्पोजिशन को और शेल्फ लाइफ को एक्सटेंड करता है। इस तरह से हमारे पास स्टेरिफिकेशन है जो कि क्या करता है? एंड इनहिबिट करता है, ठीक है ना। ज्यादातर जो हमारे पास स्नैक्स फूड होते हैं जिनके अंदर ऑयल्स और फैट्स वगैरह मौजूद होते हैं, तो उनको जो है अनवांटेड ना बनाने के लिए उसको ये तमाम चीजें ये चीज कर रही होती है। तो हमारे पास जो प्रिजर्वेटिव्स होते हैं बेसिकली, ये हमारे पास अगर हम किसी फूड के अंदर डालते हैं तो ये हमारे फूड को डिटोरिएट नहीं करते हैं। एंड दिस इज द इम्पोर्टेंट सो दैट वी कैन हैव फूड अवेलेबल एनी टाइम एंड एनीवेयर। हम प्रिजर्वेटिव्स क्यों डाल रहे होते हैं? हम प्रिजर्वेटिव ना डालें अपने फूड के अंदर, ठीक है ना। तो प्रिजर्वेटिव डालने का मकसद ये होता है ताकि हम अपने फूड को एनी टाइम और एनीवेयर हम इसको इस्तेमाल कर सकें और वो हमारे लिए अवेलेबल हो, ठीक है। यहाँ तक क्लियर है आप सबको? डिटोरिएट का मतलब होता है खराब हो जाना, ठीक है ना। ऑल राइट, अच्छा देखिए, अब हमारे पास जो फूड प्रिजर्वेटिव्स होती है दे आर क्लासिफाइड इनटू टू ग्रुप्स, ओके। सबसे पहले हमारे पास क्या होता है? एंटीऑक्सीडेंट, ठीक है। एंटीऑक्सीडेंट बेसिकली क्या होता है? आप सबको पता होगा कि हमारे पास जो ऑयल्स या फिर फैट होते हैं, अगर हम उनको प्रॉपरली स्टोर ना करें तो उनमें क्या हो जाता है? वो रेंसिड हो जाते हैं, ठीक है ना। रेंसिड हो जाते हैं और फिर उनमें क्या हो जाते हैं? बैड ओडर्स आ जाते हैं, स्मेल आना शुरू हो जाती है। और उसमें क्या हो जाता है? फूड के अंदर, ठीक है, जिसके अंदर हमारे पास फैट्स एंड ऑयल्स वगैरह होते हैं। तो अगर हमें क्या करना है, अगर हमारे हम फूड को खराब नहीं करना, उन्हें जो है वो हमें बचाना है, ठीक है ना, ताकि वो रेंसिड ना हो सके, तो हम क्या करते हैं? अपने फूड के अंदर एंटीऑक्सीडेंट डाल होते हैं, ठीक है। जो कि किसकी टाइप होती है? प्रिजर्वेटिव की टाइप होती है। एंटीऑक्सीडेंट बेसिकली करते क्या है, क्या मैकेनिज्म होता है? थोड़ा सा इसके मैकेनिज्म को मैं आप लोगों को बताना चाहूंगी। हमारे पास ना फैट्स एंड ऑयल्स के अंदर ना ईस्टर बॉन्ड्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं, ठीक है ना। तो वो होता क्या है कि ईस्टर जो है वो ब्रेक होते हैं और वहां पर कुछ खाली जगह लाइक एम्प्टी स्पेसेस आ जाती हैं, और वहां पर हमारे पास ऑक्सीजन आकर अटैच हो जाते हैं, और वहां पर क्या हो जाती है? ऑक्सीडेशन हो जाती है। जब ऑक्सीडेशन होती है तो उसमें क्या होता है? ऑफ ऑफ ओडर्स आ जाते हैं हमारे पास, ऑफ फ्लेवर्स आ जाते हैं, ऑफ स्मेल आ जाती है, और जो हमारे पास जो ऑयल होता है या जो फैट हो जाता है वो बिकम रेंसिड। ठीक है ना, जो कि हमारे बॉडी के लिए बिल्कुल भी सही नहीं है, बिल्कुल हार्मफुल होता है हमारे बॉडी के लिए। सो हम क्या करते हैं, इसके अंदर एंटीऑक्सीडेंट डालते हैं। तो जहां पर वो एम्प्टी स्पेसेस होती है वहां पर एंटीऑक्सीडेंट आकर अटैच हो जाता है और एसिडिटी नहीं होती। ठीक है ना। जैसे कि हमारे पास कुछ एंटीऑक्सीडेंट्स होते हैं, लाइक एस्कॉर्बिक एसिड हो गया, सिट्रिक एसिड हो गया, ठीक है ना। ये तमाम हमारे हमारे पास एंटीऑक्सीडेंट होते हैं जो हम अपने फूड के अंदर डाल रहे होते हैं। ठीक है ना। The function of antioxidant is to delay or prevent the deterioration of food by oxidative mechanism. मैकेनिज्म मैंने आप लोगों को ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर दिया है, ठीक है ना। All right. Because some food, when exposed to the oxygen, may be oxidized by oxygen in air. When the food is oxidized, the taste of the food may change. Sometime it become toxic, so therefore we need to add oxidants. ठीक है ना। और antioxidants. So, for example, most of the biscuits have antioxidant because of the oil and fats. Actually, most of the food which have oils, we add on antioxidants in it. Okay. Next, we have antimicrobial or antimicrobial agent. Okay, so antimicrobial agents is to inhibit the growth of microorganisms in food. Like we have benzoic acid, sodium benzoate, sodium nitrate, acetic acid like vinegar, and sulfur dioxide. ठीक है। सो हम ये सारी चीजें अपने जो फूड है उसके अंदर डाल रहे होते हैं ताकि हम क्या कर सकें, प्रिजर्वेशन कर सकें और अपनी शेल्फ लाइफ को इंक्रीज कर सकें। ऑल राइट। क्लियर एवरीवन। ऑल राइट। सो हेयर आर द नेचुरल प्रिजर्वेटिव्स। सही है। नेचुरल प्रिजर्वेटिव्स आर सब्सटेंस ड्राइव फ्रॉम नेचुरल सोर्सेज used to extend the shelf life of the food by inhibiting spoilage and microbial content or microbial growth. All right. For example, salt, sugar, and vinegar. They are the natural preservatives. Salt inhibit microbial growth by drawing moisture out of the food through osmosis. Okay. For example, we use pickles. We use salt in pickles. Okay, for preserve it. ठीक है ना। Next we have sugar. Sugar preserves food by reducing water activity which inhibit the growth of microorganisms. For example, jellies and jams, we use high sugar concentration to prevent microbial growth and spoilage. All right. Next we have vinegar. So vinegar which contain acetic acid and lower the pH of the food, creating an acidic environment that inhibit the microbial growth. ठीक है। So these natural preservatives help and maintain food safety and quality without the need for synthetic additives. All right. Salt, sugar, and vinegar are the natural preservatives. Salt is used in the salty fishes, dried fish, and also bacons. All right. And Zina, don't do this. All right. Okay. So sugar is used in jams to preserve. Vinegar is used for pickling the food. All right. So these are the natural preservatives we always used. ठीक है ना। Is it clear everyone? मैंने आपको बताया कि सॉल्ट, शुगर, विनेगर हमारे पास नेचुरल प्रिजर्वेटिव्स होते हैं। इन तीनों को हम अपने फूड के अंदर इस्तेमाल कर रहे होते हैं पिकलिंग के लिए या फिर अपनी शेल्फ लाइफ को इंक्रीज करने के लिए। ऑलराइट। नेक्स्ट वी हैव अ सिंथेटिक प्रिजर्वेटिव्स और एंटीमाइक्रोबियल एजेंट। ऑलराइट। सो an antimicrobial agent which are chemicals that we are used as additives. For example, we use sulfur dioxide and sodium sulfide for some soft drinks and sausages. Okay. Some we use sodium benzoate, we use benzoic acid in fruit juices, chili sauces, tomato sauces. All right. Then we use sodium nitrate and sodium nitrite for frozen meat, okay, burgers and sausages. Because of the why we use it, because we want to increase the shelf life of the food. ठीक है ना, we use food additives in it. All right. Okay. Tell me in the chat box what is colorant. Hurry up, everyone. What is colorants or dyes? Very good, Arisha. Zenat, very good. All right. The second type of the food additive is colorants or dyes. Okay. Food additive, especially colorants or dyes, are substance added to food to enhance its colors. All right. These can be natural or synthetic and are used to make food more visually appealing, indicate the flavors, or restore color lost during processing. For example, if we talk about the industry, अगर इंडस्ट्रीज के अंदर हम कोई प्रोसेसिंग के अंदर हमारे पास अगर कलर जो है वो अपीलिंग नहीं रहता या फिर कलर लॉस हो जाता है, सो वी यूज कलर एंड, ठीक है, ताकि वो क्या हो सके, हम उसकी कलर को क्या कर सके, रिस्टोर कर सके. ऑलराइट. सो कलरेंट्स और डाइज आर यूज इन द वैरायटी ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट टू enhance their appearance and make them more appealing to consumer. For example, beverages like soft drinks, like confectionery, like candies and gummies, baked goods like frosting and cake mix, or like and processed food, for example, cheese, etc. But what is the limitation of the colorant? ठीक है ना, हम हर किसी चीज को भी अपनी मर्जी से नहीं डाल सकते. अमाउंट एंड लिमिटेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ठीक है ना. सो मैक्सिमम लिमिट ऑफ कलर इज 1 grain per pound. It refers to the maximum allowable amount of a colorant, okay, that can be used in the food product. For example, uh, the phrase 1 grain per pound refers to the maximum allowable amount of the colorant that can be used in a फूड प्रोडक्ट. स्पेसिफिकली इट मीन्स फॉर एवरी पाउंड ना. अगर आप फॉर एग्जाम्पल कलरेंट अपने प्रोडक्ट के अंदर डाल रहे हैं तो आपने ऐसा नहीं करना कि भाई आंख बंद करनी और पूरा डब्बा डाल देना, ऐसा नहीं होता. हम बहुत ही स्मॉल अमाउंट जो है, बहुत ही माइन्यूट अमाउंट जो है वो कलरेंट की यूज कर रहे होते हैं अपने फूड प्रोडक्ट के अंदर. यहाँ पे मैंने एक एग्जाम्पल आपको बताया कि लाइक 1 grain पर पाउंड इज यूज फॉर आर फूड प्रोडक्ट. ठीक है. क्लियर एवरीवन? ओके. नेक्स्ट वी हैव अ नेचुरल कलरेंट्स. ऑलराइट. ओके. अगर ये मीटिंग एंड होती है देन आपने जो है वो सेम लिंक से ज्वाइन करना है. ठीक है ना. ओके. So natural colorants are pigments derived from natural sources such as plants, animals, or minerals. These colorants are typically extracted, all right, and from fruits, vegetables, roots, seeds, insects, or minerals, and are used to impart color to food product. For example, these are the natural colorants: carotenoids, anthocyanin, chlorophyll, turmeric, carmine, beetroot, and saffron. So, carotenoids is used we use in carrot juice and pumpkin soup. Anthocyanins is used in blueberry muffins. All right, chlorophyll, which gives a green color, we use in the green smoothies and herbal teas. And turmeric is used in the curries and the mustard sauces, etc. And carmine is which gives a red color, so we use in the red color candies and yogurts. All right. And the beetroot, जैसे आप सबको ही पता है कि beetroot we use in beetroot juices, natural red food color. Okay. And the saffron, which gives the paella color, which is used in the saffron rice. So in food industry, usually they are not use the natural color because these natural color extract some problem. For example, the lack of color intensity. For example, today the color is very for example, today the color is very dark and the next day the color become less brighter. All right. So when exposed to the light, it color may be changed. Like if it is today is green, then next day it will be brown in color. And the next is variability of supply. Short of supply maybe for rainy season. Okay. And the reactivity with other food component. Sometime it may give secondary flavors and odors. It gives taste and smell to the food. So we can't use these natural color in the industry. But you can also use these color in your house. You may use the natural colors. All right. Next we have artificial and or synthetic colors. ठीक है ना. So artificial or synthetic colors are man-made chemicals that are used to add or enhance color in food products. All right. These colorants are created through chemical process in laboratories and are designed to be more variant, more vibrant, stable, and cost effective than natural color. All right. Like they are widely used in processed foods, beverages, and candies. And one more thing which is very important in artificial color is a water soluble and are available commercially as powders form, pastes, granules, and solution. Alright, like tartazine hai, Allura red, blue, brilliant blue, sunset yellow, indigo carmine. These are the artificial and synthetic colorants. Like we use tartazine in soft drinks which gives a yellow color. ठीक है ना? We use tartazine in candies, instant pudding. We use Allura red in candies and dessert. Okay. We use brilliant blue in the raspberry flavor candies or ice cream या फिर sports drinks. And next, we have a sunset yellow, which is used in the oranges, sodas, and cakes. And then indigo carmine, we use in the ice creams. All right. एक्सट्रैक्शन प्रोसेस इज समथिंग एज जो हम एक्सट्रैक्शन करवा रहे होते हैं अपने कलरेंट्स की, वो हम ज्यादातर अपने फ्रूट्स एंड फ्रूट्स से अपने और बाकी चीजों से करवा रहे होते हैं जो कि नेचुरल होता है. बट इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द आर्टिफिशियल सिंथेटिक, देन हम इसको लेबोरेटरीज के अंदर और अपने केमिकल्स के थ्रू जो है वो हम ये सारे कलर्स को जो है वो बना रहे होते हैं. Next, we have stabilizers. So, in food or chemicals, a stabilizer is a substance added to prevent or retard an unwanted change in physical state. Alright, stabilizer keep food stable and provide texture. It is the example of emulsifier. Alright, it should be non-toxic, food grade, approved and nutrited. What does mean? Like it should also contribute to nutritional value of the food. Essentially, when stabilizer are used, alright, when they should ideally offer some nutritional benefit rather than just serving a functional role. For example, pectin is a stabilizer. Alright, we use in the jam and jellies. It is not only help to maintain the texture and prevent separation, but also provide a dietary fiber, all right, which can be beneficial for digestive health. So we use stabilizers in single or in combination. It also helps to prevent the separation of ingredients such as oils and waters. ठीक है ना? So here are the some examples of the stabilizers like sodium alginate, agar agar, gorgum. ठीक है ना? So sodium alginate is used we use in the ice cream, and agar agar is used in the pudding, jellies. ठीक है ना? Gorgum is used in the baked goods or dairy products, dairy and yogurt. ठीक है ना? हम बेसिकली स्टेबलाइजर्स होता क्या है? स्टेबलाइजर हम क्या करते हैं कि अपने फूड प्रोडक्ट के अंदर हम डाल रहे होते हैं ताकि उसके अंदर किसी किस्म की जो वो फिजिकल स्टेट जो उसकी है वो चेंज ना रहे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपने देखा होगा, अगर आपने नेस्ले वगैरह के अगर आपने योगर्ट को इस्तेमाल किया होगा, जो हम घर पे योगर्ट बनाते हैं और जो उनका योगर्ट होता है उसमें यही डिफरेंस होता है कि उनका बहुत ही जो वो स्टेबलाइजर उन्होंने डाला हुआ होता है, जिसकी वजह से जो है वो उनका वाटर और जो क्रीम जो होती है वो अलग नहीं होती है, और बहुत ही अच्छा सा हमें थिक सा फ्लेवर जो है मिल रहा होता है, और उसकी जो कंसिस्टेंसी होती है वो भी बहुत अच्छी होती है. तो उसके अंदर हम जो वो स्टेबलाइजर्स को डाल रहे होते हैं, तो वो क्या करके रखते हैं, जो उसकी फिजिकल स्टेट है उसको जो है वो प्रॉपर करके रखते हैं, उसको उसमें कोई भी अनवांटेड चेंजेस नहीं आ रही होती है. ठीक है ना? क्लियर? ओके. सो नेक्स्ट इज थिकनर. Stabilizer and thickeners are different. ठीक है ना? Thickener are used to increase the viscosity or thickness of a food product, all right, making it more sustainable and or creamy. ठीक है ना? They do not necessarily prevent separation or maintain texture over time, but rather modify the consistency of the product. It should be food graded, all right, and cane sugar and beet sugar are not added because it is not a thickening agent. ठीक है ना? थिकनर्स बेसिकली हम डाल रहे होते हैं अपने फूड प्रोडक्ट के अंदर ताकि हम क्या कर सकें, उसकी विस्कोसिटी को इंक्रीज कर सकें. ठीक है ना? ये हमारे पास बेसिकली क्या कर रहा होता है, विस्कोसिटी ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट, जो हमारी विस्कोसिटी होती है प्रोडक्ट को उसको इंक्रीज कर रहा होता है और थिकनेस को इंक्रीज कर रहा होता है. फॉर एग्जांपल हियर आर द सम एग्जांपल्स ऑफ द थिकनर्स लाइक जेलेटिन, xanthan gum and some starch pastes. Like we use gelatin in the jellies, ठीक है, marshmallows, and which provide the texture and structure, and we use gelatin in the desserts such as mousses and panna cotta, which helps to achieve the smooth and creamy consistency. All right. Xanthan gum is used in the salad dressing, okay, which help to stabilize and thick the dressing. All right. We also use anthem gum in the soup and salad, ठीक है ना? So it become more interesting, and it used to improve the texture and prevent separation. All right. We use starch pastes, okay, so because of the thickening, because it is used to thicken and stabilize the consistency and provide the smooth and creamy texture to our food product. We use uh, starch bases in the canned soup, all right, and gravies and puddings and custard. Clear, everyone? All right. ओके, अगर ये मीटिंग एंड होती है देन आपने सेम लिंक से ज्वाइन करना है, ठीक है? Okay, so next we have a flavoring agent and sweeteners. ठीक है ना? So as I told you just now, there are three types of flavors: sweeteners, flavoring, and flavor enhancer. We will discuss what is the difference between these two. All right, flavoring and the flavor enhancer. But let's see
Recording in progress.
Okay, sir, thank you. Can you hear me, sir? Okay, sir, thank you, sir. Thank you, and Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for joining us today in this insightful webinar, educational webinar, which will be through light on the deciphering the role of probiotics in food industry. So once again, thank you everyone for joining us. In this one, our lecture, inshallah, we will learn about how probiotics are integrated, how probiotics are synchronized with the food industry, and what are the potential areas in which we can pursue our career further. So should I start my video? So I think it will be best. So this is just the official notification for this webinar, and this is my brief introduction is already shown once you are entering into the meeting. The objective of this webinar for me is I'm calling such kind of webinar as the education webinar. By education webinar, I mean that in this kind of lecture, we will discuss the educational background of such kind of disciplines. For example, how we can enhance our understanding about the probiotics, about the food industry, and how we can integrate them. And if we mostly as the we can almost we can get more than 700 participants by this lecture, and 70% of them are BS students. So it means that they are definitely pursue their career. So this webinar will provide you insightful information how we can pursue your career further. So objective of this webinar will include to highlight the role of probiotics in the food industry, to update our knowledge about the recent development in probiotic food, and to explore new dimension and potential area in the probiotics field. Just for your understanding, for easy understanding, the this content of this webinar is divided into three parts. Part one will be the very brief overview about probiotics. Part two will be the about food and food industries, while part three will be the synchronization of these food and probiotics industry. So very brief about the probiotics part one, which is called the game changer. It's mean that how probiotics affect the food industry and how we can manage the probiotics and different food industry, and how this can help us to promote the food industry in different dimensions. For example, probiotics, the game changer. I just shared that the scope of probiotics around us. We are researcher, industrialists. For example, we belong to some regulatory bodies, or we are consumers. So how probiotics affect our own dimension and our own body's function, for example, physiological function, and how we can regulate there in the market, for example. So just very brief about how we can, why we are interested in probiotics. So first of all, the spectrum of probiotic is very huge, and spectrum probiotics mean they are used for the treatment of different diseases. They are used in different industries, and beside this, there is a need of probiotics. Why it's a need of probiotics? So we will learn later that the world population is growing rapidly, and there's a need of such substances which are intrinsically present and which are huge in number, and probiotics is one of them. And beside this, there is extensive research is ongoing. Currently, about one data has shown that almost 4,000 papers in 2020, just 1 year, are dedicated to the different dimensions of probiotics. And collectively, all these things make the probiotics in a very growing industries, and an industry which are growing very rapidly and fastly, and currently become $1 billion industries. So very brief about the probiotics. The concept was developed by a Russian Nobel laureate scientist called Ilya Metenkov in 1907. He just proposed that if we can change the gut microbiota with a friendly bacteria, at that time he doesn't kind the term probiotics, but he just if we change the gut microbiota with friendly bacteria or good bacteria, it will enhance the lifespan of the host organism or the host. So this concept was taken by many scientists around the globe and proposed, and at least 1965, the term probiotics was coined by Lilly and Stilwell for those substances which have immunomodulatory effect. In 2002, the World Health Organization and Food Agriculture Organization defined probiotics for live microorganisms, which when we administer adequate amounts confer a health benefits on the host. While this definition was just updated by the International Scientific Association for Probiotics and Prebiotics in 2013, for those live microorganisms which administer in adequate amounts confer a health benefits on the host. This is just very brief overview of how probiotics, the idea of probiotics came and how it affect our different dimension. So is already described that probiotics belong to some substances or belong to the those class of microorganisms which have some potential beneficial aspect. So definitely there must be selection criteria for probiotics. For example, in term of or in related to the food industry, there must be a safe strain, which for example there must be no antibiotic resistance, no viral spectrum will be present. They must have functional profiling, for example, resistance to enzyme, tolerance potential. They must have the adhesion profile. They must have the aggregation properties. Beside these, they also have a technological properties. For example, they must be genetically stable. They must have appropriate sensory condition or sensory properties, and they must be cost effective. And beside all these technological, functional, and safe profiling, the health benefits must be also associated with a strain which are claimed to be used as probiotics. For example, the immunomodulatory effect. They must have the eradicate pathogenic microorganism. They also have anti-carcinogenic, anti-mutagenic effect and other effect also. So this slide just show that not all strains or not all microorganisms are used as probiotics. There are a filter, there's a guideline which must be followed for a strain to be used as a probiotics. Now, what are the characteristics of probiotics microorganism? So Probiotics microorganisms are those microorganisms which have the survival potential to passage through the digestive system. They are able to attach intestinal epithelial cells, and they have to maintain good viability. They have utilized the nutrients and substrate in a normal diet, capable of exerting a beneficial effect on the host, and they must have some potential beneficial properties, for example, anti-inflammatory, anti-mutagenic, and immune stimulatory effect, etc. So there are many properties associated with probiotics, but these are just a few which are mostly related to the food industry. Further, what are the spectrum properties of probiotics mean that how probiotics are important in our daily life. So probiotics have a wide spectrum effect. For example, they help in the GIT colonization, they help in the eradication of pathogenic microorganisms. They can produce some substances which are commonly called metabolites or postbiotics. They have antipathogenic effect, they have got restoration potential. They also currently used for the treatment of neurological disorder, which is called psychobiotics. They are used for the treatment of aging disease, which are called gerobiotics, and many more. So just count down the name of any industry or the name of any effect in which we have found that probiotics are associated with these effects. But as this probiotics microorganisms are also have very huge beneficial effect, but definitely they are also associated with some kind of negative aspect. For example, mild gas production, constipation, diarrhea, headache, etc. These negative effects are associated with someone take probiotics, and mostly these people or individual are allergic toward the taking of probiotics. So these are not common to everyone. These are just benefit. These are just the side effects which are associated with the different kind of individuals show allergic are susceptible to taking probiotics. Now, how we can just, for your understanding, how we can identify probiotics microorganism in a substance. So there are four things must be present in the probiotics product. For example, the genus name, the species name, the strain name, and the strain code or type. For example, Lactobacillus acidophilus CL1285. This is Lactobacillus is the genus, acidophilus is the species, CL is the strain, and 1285 is the strain code or strain number. So these four things or these four code must be present in every product which are claimed to have probiotics microorganism or which are sold as probiotics. Another aspect why we are interested in probiotics. So the global probiotics market is growing very rapidly, very fastly. And for example, it was estimated that the probiotics have $52.1 billion in 2022, and it is anticipated that this industry will reach to 98.6 billion in 2030 with 8.3 growth rate. It means that this industry is currently growing very rapidly, growing very fastly, and this is the one of the latest industry, one of the latest technology we can say, in which we can develop different kind of probiotics microorganism, for example. So this is another way we are interested in the probiotics, because the industry is growing rapidly. It will attract the researcher, attract the industrialists, and attract also the other domains, people from other domains. These are just a few strains which are commercially available, their country name, and you can find many more on the literatures. Another aspect why there are billions of microorganisms are present in different substances even in our bodies, but why the number of probiotics is limited and why probiotics are less in number. So there's some strict regulation must be followed for the probiotics microorganism to be sold, to be commercialized, or to be marketed. For example, according to the European Union regulation, if someone can sold the probiotics microorganism or probiotics products, it must contain the following information: the specific name and functional group of the additives, names and address of the business responsible for the product, net weight or the net volume, the approval number, the instruction for using, and the date of manufacture or the expiry date. All these things must be present in a product which contain probiotics or which are sold as a probiotics. For example, currently there are multiple products available in the market which are used are sold as a probiotics for a different function. So these are just a few guidelines, although it's a very comprehensive and very long process how to commercialize a probiotics. But just for your information, these things and this information must be present in any probiotic product. Now, this is just very brief about the probiotics. What are probiotics and their commercialization and their properties, for example, just for those who are not directly related with probiotics microorganism. Now, part two is the food industry, the attractive industry. It means that the food industry is currently growing very rapidly, very fastly, and they attract the researchers around the globe. Why they are attract? Let us know. What is food industry? So, food industry is this is a global, a complex process which are comprising of small to large scale businesses, which ranges from production to processing, supply, distribution, and even from their packaging, preservation, and other related process. Or we can also say it is the association of the farmer with the businesses together for the betterment or for the consumer substances, consumer food substances. But actually, what food is by by term, what food is. So any substance which may be from microbial origin, from plant origin, or from any origin, which have some nutritious value, which help the individual when taken, they can give some beneficial aspect and beneficial property, and with someone taken, they can give us energy. So they are called as food substances or food. There are different spectrum which are associated with food industries. For example, the agriculture, the manufacturing, the food processing, the marketing, the wholesale, the retail, the regulation, education. Mostly, we are in this webinar, mostly we'll talk about the education. For example, how we can develop new products, how we can create awareness, how we can produce a method in which can reduce the food losses, for example, and research and development, how we can develop the food technology, how we can develop different probiotics products, and how we can enhance the existence product of the foods. So these we are mostly interested are mostly related to the education and research and development part of the different food industries. Although the food industry is not just to develop a probiotics, just develop a food product, but it's range from agriculture to commercialization. Mostly in food industry, we are talking about, in terms of probiotics, we are talking about two types of food. For example, the functional food, which is any food substances or any food which have the which provide us a health or beneficial effect to the consumer. These are called functional food. But there is a difference with nutraceuticals or foodiceuticals or medifoods, which are mostly those dietary substances or intakes of selected categories, which mostly from food origin also, which can help the individual to treat some diseases or to control the mechanism of some diseases or help in the relieving of some diseases. So there's these two substances or these two names are extensively used in the term of food industries when someone talking about the functional food and the nutraceuticals, for example. It's just for your information how we can differentiate them. Another thing, just for your call to your attention to the list, this every year, almost we lost $1 trillion food to the garbage, and we can go through, or we can just throw these food substuffs into the garbage, which consume almost $1 trillion. So it is a very loss for the any country economy. And the right side, you should share there are some food wastage reduction tips. For example, sharp accordingly, create a meal plan, and store wisely. For example, these are just my published material. You can also find in the internet. So how we can reduce the food wastage by taking these, following these steps. This is just for extra information for your knowledge. Now, I think there is just 2 minutes left in the meeting. So you can join the meeting again because it's only 2 minutes left. Is it okay to you?
Recording
Can you share? Can you see my screen? Okay, thank you.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so now it is the third part, which is mostly related to the theme of this webinar, which is the probiotics in food industry, the demands and the needs. In past two part, and we will learn about what are probiotics, what is food industry, and the different spectrum of food industries. What we are called the food industry is not just to produce food, but it's range from from the agriculture to the development of food substances. So how probiotics can help in this industries? And this part we will learn how probiotics are added and how probiotics additive are added to in the different food stuffs, for example. So formats of probiotics in different food industry. For example, they are used in the storage, they are used in the packaging, during the processing, they are used as additive, which is the main part. They are also used for the pathogens control, they are used in the protection, and they also used to produce or to add some health benefits to the food substances. So these are the different format in which probiotics are used in the food industry, but we are not interested to explore all these things because it's not our objective to explore what format in what format of probiotics are used in the food industry, but we just explore the different dimension of probiotics in the food industry. There's a question I asked in the initial why we are interested in probiotics. So the need of probiotics, why? Because of the economic status of any country. It is anticipated that the world population will be more than 9 billion in 2050. Definitely, it will cause imbalance in the production of food stuff and the individual demands. So there is a need in which we can produce stuffs or food substances from limited area or from limited research in a fast time and a rapid time. So probiotics industry or probiotics is got a great attention in this regard. Also that these are the microorganisms which are present everywhere, and just to develop, just to identify them, just to add into food substances, they can help very largely to overcome this population growth, which will be more in the future. Now, what are the different dosage form in which probiotics are available in the market? So they are present in the liquid form, the tablet form, capsule, the spray and powder form, and other form, and depend on the application, depend on their different form applications and different formats. But besides probiotics is also used as a medicine, probiotics also used as sold alone also, but food is a better choice. Why? Because the both probiotics and food substance have a synergistic effect with each other. It means that probiotics can reinforce the properties of food, and food substances by taking the food can reinforce or can enhance the existing value of probiotics. Beside this, the food substance can also provide a natural kind of buffering capacity. For example, if we can take or consume a probiotics substances or simply probiotics, so how it can survive at the low pH of the stomach, which is just 2, and how it can survive the high pH of the intestinal, for example, which is around 10 to 12. So there are different questions which are arise by the consuming of probiotics. So if we can take the probiotics with the food, or we can add the probiotics to the food substances, definitely it will add to their value, and we can take probiotics, or we can take benefits from both of them. So the dairy products contain probiotics which provide a number of high quality nutrients, for example, calcium, proteins, biotopeptides, etc. In incorporating food containing probiotics into daily foods, choice can become our lifestyle. And definitely it is a very recent research that the GBA, which is called gut-brain axis, they can affect our whole lifestyle. The application of probiotics in food industry. Currently, probiotics are used in huge food industry. For example, they are used in the beverages, they are used in the bakery, they are used in the chocolates, the sweetener, the meat industry, and pet foods, agriculture food, and other substances. I already told that you just count down the name of any industry, you will find the application of probiotics, because this is very huge industry, and a huge research is ongoing around the globe for this the development of probiotic substances. So these are just a few examples in few industry in which probiotics are used in relation to the food substances of food industries. If we can take or consume probiotics which are added to the food or probiotics food, what will be the benefits? So these are just a few benefits which are stated here. For example, they can lower the obesity, they can help in the reduction diabetes, they can also help to reduce the allergic reaction, they also help in the skin repair, and other also stated here. So these are just a few benefits of the probiotics in relationship to the food industry. Now a question arises, how we can use these probiotics or how we can add probiotics to the food substances. So definitely there must be a vehicle or a carrier for probiotics, in which we are using to add probiotic substances or probiotics microbes to the food substances. So different plant, animals, and microbial or civet, polysaccharide, etc. synthetic compounds are used for the vehicle or the transport of probiotics to the food substances. But there are some selection criteria. For example, there must be compatibility between the probiotics and the food. There must be compatibility with the processing condition and the food metrics, and there must be keep in mind the environmental condition and the storage condition of the probiotics in relationship food substances, how we can add probiotics into the food. These are the different aspects in which we keep in mind once we are interested to add any probiotic microorganism in the food industry. So these are the different advantages and disadvantages of different form of or how we can improve the existing properties of these probiotics microorganism into the food substances. For example, if we are interested to use or consume probiotics in the capsular form, so definitely it is easy of administration. It can contain no binder, but maybe it contains some allergic excipient, or they have higher cost. If you are interested, for example, to consume probiotics in the tablet form, so it is easy of administration, effective in the upper GI tract, but it may contain some allergen also. Likewise, if you are interested to consume probiotics in the form of powder, so it is effective in the GI tract, but it has some higher cost. So by showing this slide, it means that how we can select a probiotics format, a probiotics form for the food industry. So one must be vigilant, one must be keep in mind all these aspects. If we are using the powder form, we can use the tablet form, we can use the capsular form, in which form can give us and which farm can give us a very more beneficial, for example, for the industrialist and for the consumer point of view. Now, how the probiotics can affect. So the effect means that the development of probiotics in food formulation is a key research area for the future functional food market. And it is estimated that from 2015 to 2025, that this economic value will be increased from 3.3 billion to $7, and which is currently increasing more and more because of their different dimensions. What is the normal amount of probiotics per our daily intake? So 10 raised to 10 raised to power 9 CFU per gram or per ml, or 100 grams per day of probiotics consumption can give us a beneficial aspect to someone, to the individual which are consuming this. Another aspect of this probiotics aiding in the food industry is the encapsulation technology, or the encapsulation. Encapsulation means how we can encapsule the probiotic microorganism to keep it safe from the other condition, for example, from temperature, from stress, from the environmental condition, and from other food processing conditions. So food matrices are those substances, are those raw material to which probiotics bacteria are introduced. So the encapsulation of probiotics or encapsulation can give us two kinds of packaging substances. One is called active packaging, which is done to enhance the safety and quality of the packaged food. That means probiotics may be used as a active packaging ingredient in the food industry. And another is also called the bioactive packaging. It means that beside the enhance the safety and the quality of packaged substances, they can also give some edible value and also can have some nutritious value. So probiotics and use in both of these format in the food industry also. Currently, a very huge research is ongoing on the nanocapsule formation or the nano encapsulation of probiotics microorganism, which attract the researcher because of their small particle size, because of their higher surface area, and because of their increased reactivity. So these are some points in which the encapsulation of probiotics microorganism got attention, and it is a very excellent research topic for those who are interested to pursue their career in probiotics or related to food industry. This is just our published article in which you can combine different probiotic strain, their encapsulated material, and their effect, and you can also find them online. So these are multiple encapsulating material are used for the encapsulation of probiotics microorganism. Very briefly, probiotics in food products are mostly used in two types. For example, the dairy-based probiotics food and the non-dairy-based probiotics products or food substances. It means that the dairy-based probiotics food are mostly consumed, are mostly acceptable in the market because they provide a suitable environments. But there are several factors which must be addressed before applying the probiotics into dairy substances. And the viability of these probiotics in the dairy substances are affected by physical, chemical, chemical, and some regulation required some labeling issue, and other some aspects are also associated with the viability of probiotics in the dairy industries. For example, milk, yogurt, ice cream, chocolate, desserts, cheese, etc., are available in the market which contain probiotics microbes. But currently and recently, the development of non-dairy based probiotics product got attention, and then vegetarian vegetarian individual, and also got much attention in the lactose intolerance peoples. But this is not an easy task to introduce probiotics in non-dairy based substances. It is a challenges and required many substances and many challenges which we will address later. But currently, the fruit-based probiotic products, cereal-based, and meat-based probiotic products are available in the market, which are not dairy substances, but non-dairy substances and contain probiotics. So it's a huge industry and growing rapidly. We can also give our attention toward the non-dairy based probiotic formulation in their development and our research. These are the different factors which affecting the viability of probiotics microorganism. As just for your information, why we are interested in the viability of probiotics, because it is the definition of probiotics that it must be viable during the during perform their actions. Mean once we are taking probiotics, it must be viable. It must be have the potential to survive in the GI tract conditions. So there are different factors which can affect these viability. For example, the chemical factors, the ingredients of the food substances, the oxygen level, the redox potential, the water activity, the encapsulation material, the pH, etc. So all these things are just affecting the viability of probiotics microorganism, and it is come under the category of chemical factors. Another substance factors are called biological factor, with, for example, the strain types, their antagonism potential, the production of different enzymes, and their competition with the available pathogenic microbes in the GI tract and the substances, or for example, in the food substances. So these are also considered a biological factor which affect the viability and survivability of probiotics microorganism. Beside the chemical and biological factors, some physical factors, for example, the storage temperature, the drying conditions, the freezing process, the mechanical process, the food processing points, or the processing conditions are also affecting the viability of probiotics microorganism. By telling all these conditions, it's up to you how you can utilize these conditions, how you can overcome this condition, and a separate area of research for your understanding that someone can take, for example, how to mitigate, how to reduce the chemical factors to produce a quality probiotics product in the market. So there are different factors which must be considered for the probiotic product development. In terms of GI tract, because different factors are present in our GI tract, for example, the different enzymes, different acidity condition, and different chemicals are present in our body. This is just for your information that once we are formulating a probiotics product or probiotics microorganism, we are interested to claim that this particular strain of microbe have a probiotic potential. So we test all these properties. For example, in my research, I just develop a lab assays to that our selected strain have the potential to tolerate the saliva enzyme, the lysozyme, the pepsin, the pancreatin enzymes, the phenol tolerance, the acidic tolerance, the bile tolerance. So all these things must be scientifically validated for a strain to be used as probiotic microorganism and to sold as a probiotics product. As already described, there are different factors which affect the viability of probiotic microorganism in food industry. So how to enhance the probiotics in food industries? The selection of proper probiotic strain, because probiotics is a strain-dependent phenomena. Each strain has its own potential. Each strain have its own value. So proper strain selection can enhance enhance their properties in food industries. Adaptation potential must be present in the probiotic strain. So if it have adaptation potential, so it may survive in different conditions. The selection of suitable carrier is already described. There must be selection criteria for carrier substances for the vehicle in which we can load our probiotics to transport to the food substances. Selection of food packaging system must be very vigilant, must be very creative, that how we can, which kind of food package are used for the development of probiotics food. The addition of compounds must be not affect the probiotics viability. The encapsulation of probiotics must be developed, must be so smart that it not affect the sensory properties of the food. And encapsulation material, for example, being a Muslim, if I'm talking about as a Muslim, there are mostly substances which are used for the encapsulation of probiotics are from haram origin. So how we can mitigate them, how we can play, and how we can consider them. For example, gelatin are mostly used. So we can develop different substances for their encapsulation also. And what is the encapsulation technology? So we can develop different encapsulation technology for the probiotic strain to make them encapsulated from different degradation conditions of the environment, of the food, of the processing condition, etc. So these are just a very few suggestion or a few points which must be considered to enhance the probiotics in the food industry. But a care to be taken, for example, the strain which we are claiming to be used as probiotics must be have genetic basis of confirmation, genomic basis of safety and functional profiling. And just for one thing more for your information, that currently most of the journal not accept a paper which claim a probiotics properties for a strain until and unless you provide their molecular assessment. Molecular assessment not mean only we can validate them by PCR, but they can require to accept very strong evidences of the genomic analysis or the whole genome sequencing. So it must be performed per strain to be commercialized, proper labeling and claiming, and not affect the food texture and aroma, and not adversely affect the sensory properties. So these are just points, are just few points that must be considered once we are interested to develop a probiotics product or to add probiotics into different food substances. Another, as Ali described, there different factor can affect these viability of probiotics, but the development of encapsulated probiotics are to development, as Ali described, to this care to be taken are not an easy task. There are different challenges which are associated with probiotics are used in the food industries. And how these challenges can be solved, can be this shortcoming can be solved, as depend on the researcher and industrialist, how they can collaborate with each other, and how we can develop our research topic to mitigate such kind of limitation in the available research. For example, the strain intrinsic properties, both the intrinsic properties of the food substances and intrinsic properties of the strain are affected the food probiotics phenomena, the probiotics spectrum in the food industries. There are several stress factors, temperature, the acid and bile conditions, the increase or decrease the ions or the nutrients in the food substances, the exposure to osmotic and oxidative stress. They can pass to the GI tract, so how they can affect, and the pH buffering capacity of the, as I described, that the pH of the stomach is very acidic in comparison to that of the intestine. So how stand to be validated that it have the potential to survive in the presence of pH. For example, the stomach is 2 and the intestine is 12. So how we can design a strain which have the potential to survive at these extreme pH. So these are different challenges which are associated with the probiotics once we are interested to add these in the food industry. So with this is what already known about the probiotics. And just for those who are interested to pursue their career in food industry or in the probiotics industry, there are some future perspective on this area. This is the last slide probably. That design appropriate technologies, career metrics, selection of proper strains, the methods to improve the survival rate, how to increase the encapsulation of probiotics microorganism, how we can select the encapsulated material. And one thing more, this the large size as bacteria have a size of almost 1 to 3 micron size. So how we can reduce the size of the microorganism of the probiotic bacteria which have the same potential. And high number of cells as described, 10 raised to power 8 to 10 raised to power 9 gram CPU per ml are taken for any physiological function. So can we develop a technology, can we develop a strain which are less in number and have the desired properties? So it is also a very promising research area. There are some industrial orders. The transcription profiling is also important currently. And the genomic basis for genes for the probiotic survival, we can identify some potential gene which help them to survive in different extreme condition. The genetic manipulation currently is also used very extensively. The development of CRISPR biotics and the engineered probiotics, and you also hear about the next generation probiotics. So all these concepts are growing very rapidly, very fastly. And one can give their attention toward the development of any of them, and they can pursue their career, they can perform their BS master level or even PhD level research. So these are different spectrum which are still vacant, which are still need to be elucidated, which are still need to be explored experimentally. And each and every topic is very promising, very attractive, and they can definitely attract your value in the market. So just for summary, just repeat these probiotics are the live microorganism that when administered adequate amounts confer health benefits on the host. Various selection criteria like safety, tolerance, adherence, segregation properties are selected or used during their selections. Disease treatment, immunomodulation, bactericide production, and correct pathogens are their the mark properties of probiotics microorganism. And besides other vast applications, probiotics are extensively used in the food industries in different forms and format. Commercially, probiotics are available in capsule, tablet, liquid, dry, and spray form and are used as a feed additive during processing condition, during storage, and for the education of pathogenic microorganisms in the food industry. Their survivability in the food products are encountered by different chemical, biological, and physical factors. Encapsulation, which is a recent technology for the protection, proper carrier, and tolerance can overcome resistance shortcoming in their usage in food industry. Proper labeling, genomic analysis, client benefits, and absence of adverse properties are the suggested tips which while using probiotics in the food industry. And the probiotics food industry is growing rapidly, catches the researchers around the globe, and does have a promising futures. You can pursue or career also. Develop and understand selection and encapsulation technology, exploring their role in micro level, and find an easy approach to the current problems are their future research area, and we can entrust to develop or we can entrust to elucidate them independently. So this is from my side. I hope you'll be bored because it's more related to educational webinar. Educational means they are more related to the educational material. So I think you will enjoy. Also, you will find some area for your research in the future. So let me know if you have any questions. So you can ask me. Let me know if you have any question. You can feel free to ask me. Someone asked, is there also found in vegetables? Yes. We have recently published our review article, the Probiotics Vegetable Oil Association review. You can find on the Google also. So they are also found in the vegetable, and vegetable-based probiotics are also available. Is also described that there's come in the category of the non-dairy-based probiotics. They are developed the fruit-based probiotics, the meat-based probiotics, and vegetable-based probiotics. They are commercially available in the market and also sold on. At the role of prebiotics is also it's very important for developing probiotics. But probiotics and prebiotics something a little bit different. Probiotics are the microorganism, and prebiotics are mostly those substances which are consumed by the probiotics microbe. You can say it is the nutrients per probiotics microorganism. So definitely it will affect by the selection of different selection of suitable prebiotic substances which have more nutritious value and lesser number can affect the viability, the survivability, and the different spectrums of probiotics microorganisms. Yes, that have some effect also. Is there any difference between probiotics and supplements? Yes, there are difference because probiotics are the live microorganism. Sorry, these are live microorganisms. Means these are bacteria are mostly from yeast strains. Supplements are any substances which can also add to the food substances. Which one is better? It depends on the formulation, depend on their application, which context we are talking about. For example, if we talk about the person which are lactose intolerance, which are, for example, obese, which are, for example, have some allergic reaction. So this get maybe the other supplement other than probiotic supplement may be interested for them. But if you are interested, if a person is not having some other issues, for example, not their stomach issues, so maybe probiotics microorganisms are the best option for their research. So it may depend on the application. We cannot make a generalized statement which one is better, but it may be used as a feed additive and it may be depend on the different applications. No, these are different substances, not only bacteria, but these are also used. And currently, the concept of next generation probiotics, it's mean that those microbes which are not generally proposed for probiotic potential, but are elicited for the probiotic potential, is called next generation probiotics. So, yeast probiotics, yeast, bacteria, and some other microbes are also currently tested for their probiotic potential. Mostly, probiotics are developed from lab classes, lactic acid bacteria, which Lactobacillus, bifidobacteria, and genus Enterococcus are the three top partner of the lab class. So they are extensively used. But yes, other microbes are also elucidated. Yeast are extensively used and extensively used and available commercially in the market. A synergistic effect means that synergism means that when we combine the effect of two things. For example, if we can consume food, so definitely it will give us a nutrition value. If we can consume probiotics, so definitely it will give some other benefits. But if we can combine both of these, it means that if we can combine probiotics with the food substances, so their effect are collectively, their effect are combined. So by taking one meal or by taking one substances, which is called probiotic food, they can give us both benefits of the food also and effect are benefits of the probiotics also. So this approach is called synergistic approach or synergism approach. There are any change, any benefits change according to, yes, definitely. I already told that G-probiotics is currently called a substance, a probiotics which are dedicated to the treatment of the which is called aging probiotics for the treatment of aging phenomena. So, and for example, the newborn have their most of the newborn gut microbiota are similar to their mother because they produce their they are produced from the mother, so definitely it have their similarity with the mother. But once they are growing, so definitely acquired some microbes from the environment, some microbes from the meat with from the meal which they are taken. So they have diverse condition and diverse microbiota in comparison to newborn. So yes, it's very obvious that the development or the presence of gut microbiota is varying among the individual, and they are varying with the age also. I have already write down one chapter, the role of probiotics in aging, which is under consideration. Inshallah, hope it will be published, so you can also down more detail in that. Yes, definitely. Can probiotics improve food safety by reducing pathogen? Yes, this is two effect. Probiotics also used to reduce or can use to eradicate the pathogenic microorganism also, and probiotics are also used to, for example, to which is called to enhance the shelf life. As my research, I conducted experiment and keep our probiotic stand for 3 months, and they show good viability up to 3 months. It means that our stand have the potential to survive for 3 months. So they can also use for the enhancement on their shelf life also, storage condition also, and they can also use to eradicate the pathogenic microbes, not only from the gut but can also from the food substances, because they have the what is the mechanistic of this or mechanism of this. The probiotics microorganism, it is the essential criteria that probiotics have the potential to secrete or produce anti-pathogenic substances, which is mostly called bacteriocins. So these using these bacteriocins, the probiotics microbe kill other pathogens which are available or present in their close vicinity. Why probiotic industry is Pakistan is not developing as much of other countries? Yes, currently, just for your information, I have write down one project and Alhamdulillah it is accepted and when by developing a probiotics in the Pakistan, commercialize a probiotics 10. But it's not an easy task. How to develop probiotics in the market is not an easy task, particularly once we are going proper channel to commercialize them and following their guidelines and their regulations. Although it's not have a very strict profiling like a medicine development or drug development, but yes, still it have some regulation which must be followed for a stand to be commercialized. So, and it's not an easy task. So definitely when Pakistan, what people are doing, our researchers are doing, they're just taking probiotics which are available in the market, and they are used to target their different spectrum effect. It is as it is useful for plants or not? Yes, why not? It's useful for currently they are also used for the plants. For example, they are using the which is called manure for the used for as a manure in the plants for the growth of plants and also isolated from plants. So and also develop plant-based probiotics available. So definitely it will give some which is called benefits to the plants. But particularly, I don't understand any example of that. Is there any negative effect? Yes, I described that constipation, diarrhea, mild gas production, for example, headache or allergies are associated with probiotics, but it's less effective in comparison to their positive effects. So that's why probiotics are also called good bacteria or beneficial bacteria. So they are extensively used. No, not described for everyone. So definitely there must be selection criteria. There must be some just called it means that there must be some criteria to prescribe for a patient, not directly someone can take. And for example, if we have some diarrhea, so we can take probiotics microorganism, but yes, it has some limitation and some properties to be considered. Mm, You shared the attendance link, so kindly fill the attendance form. And if you have any questions, so you can find my email address. You can also have my WhatsApp number, so you can message me anytime. Inshallah, I will try my best to answer your questions. For example, in my opinion,